Alright. I think that we are streaming again. For the first time in forever. It's been a long time. Stream is offline. What is going on? Alright, cool. We're online. Hi everybody. I'm gonna post a couple links up in this piece and then we're gonna get started with, I mean, we're not even really gonna get started. Like, there's not all that much going on. So, you know, we're gonna say some things and do some things that we'll probably regret. And then, you know, we'll sign off and our lives will be changed forever by the regret of what we're talking about. You know what I'm talking about. So I hope everyone who wanted to see this is getting to see this, because I always end up hearing the inevitable, "You never told me this was gonna happen" thing. And, you know, I posted 3 hours ago on Facebook, I posted 15 minutes ago on Tumblr. So, we'll see what's happening. New package to open. So I do have a package to open today, which is nice. Let me actually get this microphone a little bit closer. There you go. Man, it's been a good weekend. Thanksgiving has ravaged the land, as is to be expected. And we're all here to celebrate together, I think. Let's actually put this up here. No, let's do this. Okay. So I hope everyone's doing well. Let's see who we have to say hi to. Put this right here. Hello, part of the Zodiac. Hey, Karen. Hey, Hexes. Gibril the Flugel. Jesus, come on. Can you softball me a name? Gibril the Flugel. Hey, Joseph. Hey, Crystal. Hey, Helen. Hey, Catherine. Hey, Ekaterina. Ekaterina. Let's say Ekaterina. Louisa. Chris. Hey, Chris. Hey, Wraith. Those decals were nice. Wish I could get one. Well, Joseph, they're available to them. All you have to do is PM me on Facebook or whatever, and we'll figure out how to get one to you. Hey, Louisa. Hey, Hannah. Hey, ZGB. Finally managed to catch one first time in months. Well, Wraith, it's the first time one's been done for the first time in months, so you're probably faring better than you think. Hey, RC. Oh, hey, Amada. How's it going, my girlfriend? Loki forever. Thanks, Louisa. Happy belated Thanksgiving. Happy belated Thanksgiving to you too, Joe. Anyone went to see Fantastic Beasts yet? No, Hexes, Gibril, the Flugel. Jesus Christ, that's a long name. But you know what? I've actually been looking for a movie to go see with my girlfriend. So maybe that'll be a good choice for us to use our movie passes and free in and out gift certificates on. Hey, Elizabeth. Hi. You can just call me Hex or Hexes. I'll go with Hex. Hey, Joquette in Germany. Where did you get your Loki cosplay from? Part of the Zodiac. If you want to see where my Loki cosplay came from, you can go on my Facebook and look at the reference. There's a really quick color-coded guide. It's also on my Instagram. You have to go way down. It's also on my Twitter. And it shows all the different artists that worked on all the different pieces by color code. So go and check that out. It's too much work for me to keep saying every stream. Oh, I got my cosplay from Luck and Spades, and Commissar Props, and Eldritch Arts, and Mal's Fantasy Factory, and you know, Armory Raza. Like all these different places. There's a few more that I haven't even mentioned. Needles and Swords. Like, it's all... There's a bunch of different commissions that had to be made in order to make that cosplay happen. Hey, Queen Maxine. How was your trip to Rhode Island and Memphis? Chris, my trips were good. I booked myself a little bit too long out in Rhode Island. I ended up spending almost 2 weeks in Rhode Island. And then I was in Memphis for a few more days. That's a long time to be away from home. So I'm happy to be home. I had a lot of fun, but I was also exhausted by the time I get back. Memphis went really well. We got a lot of good pictures taken. You're going to be seeing some pictures from Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention. We had a really talented photographer named Billy Morrison. And you can see a lot of his work being put up by Red Skull Alliance Cosplay and Perfect Cosplay right now. We did a lot of shoots with him that weekend. So they're sort of posting at will. And yeah, so just keep an eye out for them. Go follow Red Skull Alliance and Perfect Cosplay and Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention and Billy Morrison. Is it Billy Morris or Morrison? Either way, you'll see him linked in a lot of the photos. Hey, Candace. Good to see you. Hello, Candace. Hello, Amada. Is your Twitter the same as your YouTube name? Part of the Zodiac. My Twitter name is Loki _ hates _ you. So there's little lines. They're not dashes. They're lower than dashes. So it's Loki _ hates _ you. La 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 la. Luisa, I'm doing well. I don't know if you're asking me. Hey, Tamala. Tamila. Tamala. That's every different pronunciation I can think of. I plan to cosplay as Shay Cormac. Any tips on how to get into character when you cosplay as Loki? I plan to use it with cons. So the conversation about getting into character in cosplay is a complicated one in that there's a lot of different ways to go about it. I actually don't appreciate when people are really in character while in cosplay. When people talk in the voice and they have an accent and they're like jumping around and being as energetic as a comic book character or whatever it is. I will pose in a manner that I think suits my character, which is usually Loki. And I will kind of look meaner or more devious than I normally would in my regular, facial expressions and stuff. So, it's not in character, but I am in character. I don't know how to explain it. So basically what you want to do with your character, with your cosplay, is go to the con and find a few really famous images of them, of the character that you're cosplaying, and just try to make that happen in the mirror before you go to the con. If it's something that's over the shoulder or whatever, if you've got one of these happening in a really famous photo, try to position yourself so that you can see that when you look in the mirror, and then make it so that when you see a photographer who wants to take your picture or whatever, you are doing that pose, and have a library of 3 or 4 of those poses, and just bring that mindset to the convention so that when people see your cosplay, whether or not it's instantly recognizable, maybe the pose will help to push it into completely recognizable and unmistakable. Thank you, Hannah. Let's see. Pocky Girl, I hope you're having a nice day too. Hey, Carol. I'm sorry that your iPad was not letting you talk, but now it is. Instead of part of the Zodiac, you can call me Rin. Rin, I will most definitely not remember that name. I'll give it a shot, but I read the screen name because they're what's in front of me. It's very hard for me to recall names. That's why when I meet people at cons, or when I see people that I know at cons, I actually won't say their names, and I won't introduce them to anyone. Because for me to reach into my mind and pull out names that I'm not using every day, to say like, oh, hey, this is Jimmy and this is Tony, you can see how long it takes me to say Tony, and that's insulting to someone. More insulting than me just saying, hey, what's up, man? And so when I look at your name and have to recall Rin, it may take me 10 seconds of dead air to say, part of the Zodiac is Rin, right? Not Rami, not Timmy, not Tin. It's Rin. So I'll probably just keep saying part of the Zodiac, but if I can think of Rin right off the top of my head, that's how I'll do it. Okay. Good evening. Let's see. Got plenty of those images. He's my favorite. Thank you. Changed my name. Malin. All right, Malin. There you go. You didn't need to change your name. I was just busting your chops about it. I'm lucky that I'm pretty much in the same personality-wise as the person I'm about to cosplay, planning on cosplaying Se Yung, otherwise known as Seven from Mystic Messenger. I have no idea. That sounds like an anime. I simply don't have time to watch anime. There's so many of them. Well, Louisa, I hope you get your Lady Loki cosplay going. Have to go. Have a good day. Well, Joseph, have a good one yourself. I have problems with the horns. Yeah, the horns are definitely the hardest to negotiate as far as weight and structural stability and stuff. If anyone has any questions about how to make horns that are functional, about the best I can help you with is this size of horn. I do not have any real insight about, and even then you can see that mine have broken. You can see the big crack right here. Look at that guy. These horns have broken several times and needed to be glued back together, but they serve their purpose. Hey Marcy, it's good to see you. Oh, I was just talking about you about 2 minutes ago. Shared the photo from Red Skull Alliance cosplay. Well, thanks, Danielle. That's appreciated. That's the whole point of getting all those photos taken, is so you guys can enjoy them and share them. Made my horns from thin craft foam. Yeah, the ones I just showed you, these are actually made out of balsa wood. I just sanded pieces of balsa wood into roughly cylindrical, curved cylinders, I guess is what I should be saying. And they're very light, and they're pretty easy to attach to things. I found that the foam... Oh, and they're easy to paint. Foam couldn't be painted. I had made several foam horns before that, but they just couldn't... I couldn't get them to turn out right without being weird and melted. So be careful with foam if you're going to be painting it, because there's a million tutorials online that'll tell you never to use spray paint on foam. You gotta do like 10 coats of Mod Podge, and then, you know, there's still a chance that there's a bunch of drying phases to it. Painting foam is a big pain in the ass, unless you want to use a different type of paint, and that's more expensive, and you got these brushes, and it might come out streaky, So, Mystic Messenger is a game. Perfect. Alright. I don't know. I'm never gonna play any of the games. Hey, Mrs. Mojo Rising. Let's see. How was your Thanksgiving? Well, Chris, my Thanksgiving was very quiet. We had Amada and I spent our Thanksgiving in the house, in Amada's apartment, just having a nice, relaxing day. And we have someone in our life who is very generous, and they sort of were like, "Hey, do you want a turkey?" And we were like, "Okay." And they bought us this Costco. What do you call it? It was called a Costco turkey breast, and it's a big aluminum pan, and it had a lot of stuffing in it. And then in the center of the stuffing, you could just barely see like the top of like a turkey breast poking out. And the label said, you know, this is a turkey breast, and here's how you cook it. And we read the directions as cook for 30 minutes at 400 degrees, and then let it cool for a while. So we were like, wow, that's a really fast cooking turkey breast. Like, must just be a small amount of meat in there. As it turns out, what the actual directions were was something more along the lines of heat at 400 degrees for 30 minutes, and then turn to 350 degrees and continue heating until the center of the meat is at 165 degrees. So the difference there is about 5 hours. So we had sort of fixings for Thanksgiving lunch, like around noon or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We had our potatoes and our stuffing and our cornbread and our other bread, and we just like had a bunch of side dishes. And then around like probably 4 or 5 in the afternoon, the turkey was ready. So we had a Thanksgiving dinner at that point with some more stuffing and more potatoes and more of that. So we sort of underestimated the cooking time on our turkey breast, which was actually basically an entire turkey that had, I think one of the legs was gone, but the rest of the turkey was there. It was a lot of food. So it was a good Thanksgiving. We had a good time, and there was no real pressure. So we watched What About Bob? I think we watched a couple episodes of My Name is Earl. And we had a good time. And then yesterday we had a little game night with some friends. So it was a good Thanksgiving weekend so far. And today we're going to go and enjoy another little gathering at NerdBot. Are you still using parts of your President Loki costume as basically as a suit? Danielle, I haven't really done that. I didn't have the room in my luggage to bring Presidential Loki to Rhode Island and Memphis. And so it hasn't gotten any use since WonderCon, since before the election ended. So only time will tell what Presidential Loki ends up becoming. And Thor is not important here. I have problems with the English language. Well, Hannah, I hope you have a good time regardless, and I hope that you can understand everything that's happening. Acrylic paints. Yeah, acrylic can be used on foam. Thought real horns were a great idea. Looked great, but I couldn't look up or down. Yeah, small but dangerous. There's a lot of great ideas that you can have before you've crafted something about, like, I'm going to use leather. I'm going to use real leather to make this whole outfit, or I'm going to use real horns to make some horns, or I'm going to use real metal. I'm going to make real metal armor. And then you realize 3 hours into wearing this metal armor, or these, 4 or 5 pound horns on your head, or 30 pounds of leather on your body, that like, oh, I see now why people like foam, because it's light and it doesn't kill you to wear it. So, you live and you learn, but if you work with real materials, there's nothing saying like you can't have a nice costume made out of real, authentic armor and stuff. Typically you won't see too much problems from convention doing like weapons check or something if you're wearing metal armor. They only really are concerned about metal weaponry. So do what you gotta do, and hopefully you can, withstand the gauntlet of an 8-hour day at a con wearing whatever you've decided to make your costume out of. Louisa, will tell them all I said hi. Just throw the turkey at the sun. Okay, Danielle. That's the Superman approach. Those directions were just a little misleading. What About Bob is such an underrated movie. It really is, because it's not like a slapstick comedy. There's some funny stuff in it, but like it's almost more of a, I don't know. It's just kind of a weird, not drama. I don't know. It's just a bunch of likable characters, and you get through the movie, and by the end of it, you're just kind of like, yeah, I like all those guys. Some cosplays are basically a Dutch oven with a person drowning their own sweat and tears under it. Yeah, Rin. No, Hex. That's not Rin. See, I'm already screwing up your names. Hex, you're right. Like, some people suffer more for their costumes than it's worth. I've seen, people legitimately hurt by their cosplays, particularly people wearing cheap contact lenses, people who rushed and didn't try it on and wear it around a little bit before they actually, wore it to a con. I started a base for the headpiece. foil tips on what to... I started a base for the headpiece that you had for Presidential Loki. Started out right now with foil. Any tips on what to make it seem better? If you're going to be working with foil, you only get really... So what you want to do is... that's a hard material. You got to make sure that when you apply it, it's perfectly smooth. Because foil, when it gets crinkled, looks like foil. And you want it to look like solid metal. So you need something, either cardboard or foam or something else that will conform and stay to your head. The entire reason why this one ended up looking any good was because I had to make it directly to the shape of my head. I cut this out with my exact facial shape in mind, and I heated it and molded it to my face in particular, and that's why it rests, all points rest directly against my head. So you're gonna want to use a cheap material like paper or cardboard and wrap it around your face so that you know that it's gonna fit right, and also it's cheap enough that you can make 2 or 3 or 4 of them without, you know, having wasted $80 in materials. Started out at base. I love my materials, but I definitely have seen light when it comes to foam. Yeah, you know what though, Nini? Like, I don't know if I'd want a pre-made turkey. Like, the whole point of a turkey is that you put in the work and you make it yourself. I feel like it's kind of cheating. Not cheating. It's just not going to be made right. It's not going to be made with that same love that anyone who's being careful about making a turkey is gonna put into it. Well, Wraith, if you got any free time, start small. Make yourself a nice pair of boot covers or something, or some gauntlets, and then, you know, get bigger from there. Cosplay isn't about making a whole giant spectacle thing. It's about, you know, starting where you feel comfortable. It's a hobby. Star Wars is next month. I'm looking forward to Rogue One. I hope it's a great dramatic movie. Are you going to the con next week in Dortmund? No, Tamala. I do not even know where Dortmund is, and I don't know which con is there. At least you didn't burn the turkey breast, which I could say the same about my mom's pumpkin pie, unfortunately. Oh, Chris, your mom does her best. You know, it's one pie. Don't bust your chops about it. She's doing what she can. Joseph, you didn't return much. Hannah. Hablo solamente un poquito de español. And that is probably not correct grammar. I was going to use foil for something, but it tears really easily. Yeah, Danielle, I agree. I tried using... actually, what I did for my first attempt at the original Thor Loki was I took cardboard, I wrapped it in felt, and then I wrapped that in garbage bag plastic, and I spray painted that with gold, and it kind of made a cool, like, shiny surface that was semi-rigid, that was actually flexible as well. And it turned out okay, but yeah, foam is tough because, like, it really does show that it's foam. Like, I'm sorry, not foam. Foil. Foil is tough because it'll turn out looking like foil, and it's hard to make it look like anything else other than foil. Oh, we got a bunch of German going on in here. I wish I spoke more German. I took like 2 semesters of German and I never retained any of it. Okay. Something similar to foil that's a bit stronger, but I can't remember the name. Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, it's probably just going to be some sort of sheet metal, like a real thin sheet metal. Ellis from Left 4 Dead 2, because I found his shirt, hat online, backpack shape. Yeah, just do Ellis, buddy. And honestly, no one's going to recognize Ellis. Like, you're going to go to a con and have like 3 or 4 people be like, oh my god, are you Ellis? But it'll be worth it to see those 3 or 4 people. And you'll kind of get a taste of like what other people are doing in costume and what can be easy but really popular. A lot of Doctor Who cosplayers. I don't think Doctor Who is an easy cosplay, but I think it's it's a much more normal feeling costume where you're just wearing nice clothes and, you know, maybe a very warm jacket in a, hopefully not the summer. But, like, you know, Doctor Who fandom is a great example of people who just go out and wear clothes, and it's a costume that people love. Do I have a favorite cosplay other than Loki? I guess not really. Loki's my favorite to wear. I mean, if I had other cosplays, I'm sure I would have one that I preferred. So I would love to have a bunch of other cosplays, but I unfortunately do not. I'd love to have a Spawn. I would love to have a bunch of, like, you know, Space Marines and stuff like that. Any sort of large mechanical stuff I'd love to wear. Chris, lay off your mom, please. A lot of German. My first cosplay was Grell. Homemade. Made everything. Dortmund is in Germany. Thought it would be nice if others could read that too. Oh, I see. You were asking me. Okay, yeah, no. Well, good. I'm glad you guys are making German connections with one another. Maybe if you ask Farlight, she'll be in town. You know, I know she's German by descent, and now although she's in Scotland, I think she does visit Germany from time to time. So you might hit the Loki jackpot. Shiny wrapping paper, yay or nay? I mean, hexes, like, you gotta try it out. Get something cheap, get some cheap foil, give it a shot, and if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, you move on to something else and you try spray painting it. I finally subscribed to your YouTube page. Sorry I'm late. Stacy, you're good. You're fine. Don't worry about it. Tu poquito de español es bueno. Your little Spanish is good. Good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm not going to any cons anytime soon. Kind of live in Dead Zone, but Ellis is my favorite. You should try, Wraith, you should give a shout out to Gen Con. I don't know how close you are to Indianapolis, but I know Jennifer. Actually, I got a package from Jen. We got to open that at some point. You could probably meet up with her, and you guys could have a lot to talk about. Maybe one day I'll go, and Amada and I will take a trip to Indiana and just, you know, go and visit her family, and then go to Gen Con. Got a lot of pictures of people. I have drawn, Hannah. I know how to draw a little bit. I'm not the greatest artist in the world, but I draw from time to time when I need to. Doctor Who, working on knitting, okay? Let's all be Space Marines. Okay, Small But Dangerous. If you want to make everybody Space Marine armor, that sounds great. Just add some chocolate cream pie and coconut whipped cream. Makes it a lot more better than it turned out. I love chocolate cream pie, so agreed. Funny how you say my name. Farlight. Yeah, Louisa, I actually got to visit Farlight when I went on a vacation to Scotland a little more than a year ago. Well more than a year ago, I guess. And she was super cool. And I wore some of her clothes for a short amount of time. It was great. Flying Fire, really. Would you ever think about going to NakaCon or Planet Comic Con in Kansas City? Phil Popping 2D, Pill Popping. Pill Pop, I thought that's Phil. So Pill Popping, I would go to any con that invited me and paid for me to get there and stay there. In other words, if they pay for my flight, my hotel room, and my con ticket, yes, I'll go to any con that I have the time for. Other than that, I have no real reservations, but like I can't make it out to every con that people ask me to be at because I don't have the money. I'm about an hour away from Indianapolis. Well, Wraith, if you can hitch a ride during Gen Con, look into it. It's a great gaming con. It's one of the biggest in the country. Which doodle did I post? Is it the Knight Rider? Or I'm sorry, not Knight Rider. Ghost Rider. Knight Rider. I'm an idiot. Yeah, I mean, every once in a while I'll sit there and doodle a little bit, but my anatomy stuff isn't great and my perspective isn't good. So just you know, just take my drawings as a grain of salt. I'm not going to be doing a ton of drawing from here on, you know. Kind of easy, la la la. My next project is a present for my friends. I'm going to make them some sea salt ice cream from Kingdom Hearts. Not real ice cream, but props for their KH cosplay. That's cool. Yeah, do it. That'll be fun. 6-lane highways and no one knows the speed limit. Yeah, going from the country into a city is always a harrowing experience, and, you know, maybe if you can get somebody else to drive, it'll be worth it for you. Well, Louisa, someday Farr and I will be able to hang out where we both have our Loki cosplays, maybe in the same room. I don't know. I don't even know if she wears hers anymore. I don't think she does. Let's see. I will say this about your President Loki cosplay. It was truly an honor making these memes. Well, thanks, Chris. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I'm glad that you know, so you leaned into it so wholeheartedly. Like, I think your memes spread out quite a bit and helped to promote it. What games are you playing lately, or haven't you had the time? I tried Overwatch recently, and I did not get past like a few minutes of gameplay. I found it really boring. I found it to be reminiscent of a bunch of other games that I enjoy in all the wrong ways. Basically, I thought Overwatch was just like a trial version of Team Fortress 2 and Unreal Tournament 3. That instead of being free, which it was for that weekend, costs you $40. And that's not what I'm looking for. Now, I do have a bunch of friends that play Overwatch, and I wouldn't mind... I guess to have it, I would play it with them. But man, there's no characters I like playing as. And it just didn't click with me. I didn't like it. I've also been playing the new Doom, the 2016 release of Doom. And I've been liking it a lot. I just haven't had a ton of time to actually sit down and do it. Because I like to get all the unlockable shit and upgrade all the weapons and stuff. So... that I've been playing on my own. There's no reason for you guys to watch me streaming a game where I'm literally just like staring at the screen and saying nothing. I'd rather just be talking to you guys and listening to your comments, because I can't read and play at the same time. I just don't have that kind of attention span. Oh, we've also started playing a Lego Indiana Jones. Amada and I like to do Nintendo Wii co-op games. We played through all of Super Mario 3D World and we thought it was great, and then we got another Mario game called like Super Mario World. I don't know what it was called, but it just wasn't as fun, so we went out and bought one of the Lego games, the Indiana Jones game, and it's okay. Like, it's okay. If you guys have any recommendations for Nintendo Wii or Wii U games that are cooperative multiplayer, please send them my way, because I would love to, you know, Amada and I like to kind of kill time and play whatever we can. Let's see. Knight Rider, yeah. Have you ever thought about going to Alamo City Con? That is a big con, Rin. So if they ever invite me out, I don't know why they would. I've never contacted them. But if Alamo City Comic-Con wanted to pay for me to get out there and stay in a hotel and be at their con, I would love to be there. Joseph, if you want to DM me a drawing, great. I wish I could meet you in person because I really love your work. Money's a big problem. Knockout Planet Comic-Con, dish out the money, make a big post so I can see it. Sure. Yeah. I'll let you know. Only been in the car. Reminds me, Vote Loki waiting for me in the mail. Yeah, I would like to pick up. I'm missing. I think all I have of the Vote Loki comics are issue 2. That's the only one I have. So I need 1 and whatever follows 2, whether that's up to 5 or 6 or what have you. That'd be so awesome. So happy to see you. Have you played Assassin's Creed? I recommend Assassin's Creed 3. No, Assassin's Creed, it takes itself a little too seriously. I'm looking for stuff, you know, like I said, more like Mario. Maybe like a Sonic the Hedgehog game or something where 2 players can play at once. But like, Super Mario 3D World was such a great experience for like just 2 people that aren't professional gamers and who aren't trying to compete with each other. And if you die, it's like, you know, it's not super high stakes and you're only set back about 5 minutes of your time. So we're doing what we can. But I think that's a game I need friends to play with. Yeah, Wraith, Team Fortress 2, you really need somebody to kind of ease you into it. You don't want to jump into a game on Steam because it's gotten too competitive and people know what they're supposed to be doing and they expect you to as well. So it's not all that hospitable. Yeah, Danielle, Doom has been great. It's a great story. It's not actually a great game. The game plays a little stagnant. You do a lot of the same shit, but all of the imagery and a lot of the design is really cool. First time I was practicing my traffic, some lady drove me off the road, screaming and yelling at me. Freaked out, drove off the road, didn't do anything to the car. Well, Hexes, driving is a hard thing to pick up. Still haven't played Doom. Are you planning on buying the Nintendo Classic? You know, Chris, I have a firm belief that at some point in history, the Nintendo Classic will be available in every store that it's supposed to be sold in, and I will wait until that day before I make the decision about the Nintendo Classic. I am not going to get into a fist fight or pay 4 or 5 times the suggested retail price for a Nintendo Classic. If I can find one for whatever the normal price is, I think it's like $200. It can't be $200. Whatever the Nintendo Classic is supposed to sell for, you know what? It might only be worth about $50 to me. So when it's that price, maybe I'll buy one. Lego Indie. It's way easier when you're playing with someone. It seems like the switching characters would be a big pain in the ass in the Lego Indie. Twilight Princess HD. Is that cooperative, Joseph? I didn't know Twilight Princess was co-op. I don't think... the impression that I get from all the Legend of Zelda games is that they're all kind of single player. Do you like cats? I love cats, Hannah. I love dogs, too. I love all the furry animals. Have you ever watched Crimson Peak? I have, Malin. It was... not my favorite movie. Loki Cosplay, if you ever come to ACCC, might be in Loki Cosplay working on... Well, Rin, I'll let you know if I'm coming. Play Death Spank on Steam. No, we're looking for Nintendo games. Look up, it's... My friends that play Super Mario Maker. We take turns playing until someone dies. Huge fan of Assassin's Creed, so excited for the movie. Cool. If you want a game to play with friends, it's just fun to record on Steam. There's Profunt. Gary's mod is too inside baseball, I think. Definitely a feast for the eyes, actually in town for the Del Toro exhibit at the LACMA. Well, you know, enjoy. That Del Toro exhibit, I've heard a lot of people say good things. I really want an Elder Scrolls movie. Okay. Saw a little dog that was shivering today, poor thing. I think it needed long socks and a coat. Yeah, it's always a shame to see a little dog shivering. Let's open a package, guys. Okay. Wow, we've been going for more than a half an hour. I was planning on only having this be a half an hour altogether. So this is from Jennifer. Oh my god. So this is from Jennifer. Let's see what's in the box. but also extension cord to add with your purchase because the Nintendo controller cord is only 2 feet long. Interesting. Alright, so I'm going to open this bad boy up. Let's see what we got. Come on. Oh dear. So there's a box, and inside the box is another box. Oh wow, there's a ton of stuff in here. Holy crap. Look at all of this fucking stuff. Alright, so let's start with small stuff first. The first thing is a nice fine point stylus. This was on my Amazon wish list. And what's going to happen with this is I think Amada's going to teach me how to do some of her digital painting stuff on her iPad. So we're going to take this. I'm not even going to open it up. Yeah. Because as some of you have seen, and even some of you have actually bought, the prints of Amada's artwork. And she does beautiful renderings of cosplay photos that have been taken of either myself or actual photos of Tom Hiddleston. I don't know if this requires some kind of batteries, but as you can see, there's a very fine tip on it. It's just like a little nipple there. See what I'm saying? So this guy may give rise to some beautiful digital paintings in the very near future, and I hope to be posting those very soon. So thank you, Jennifer, for the first thing from that box. That's awesome. I'm gonna use that. It's like Christmas. You guys make my life like Christmas, and it's so nice. A box in a box. Using a flight voucher, and I had to come out and see that. Looks amazing. Well, if you do come out, Candace, let me know. Like I said, a lot of people have enjoyed that exhibit. So, what else do we got? We've got a whole bunch of iPhone 5 chargers. These cables, let me tell you a little story. When I went to Rhode Island, my mom, she goes and she plays the slots at the casino every once in a while. And as a frequent casino goer, the casino will often say, "Oh, hey, thanks for coming. Here's free gifts." And they'll give her, oh, I don't know, a toaster or an iron or a household item of some sort, a blanket, whatever it is. And she said, "Well, I have an Apple gift card." And it was two $20 Apple gift cards from the casino that she goes to. And I was like, "Oh, that's really cool. You should get something." And she's like, "Well, I don't know what to buy from Apple." So she gave me these two $20 gift cards. And I was like, "Oh, well, I do have some iPhone charging cables on my wish list. Maybe I'll just go and spend this $40 worth of Apple credit at the Apple store and get myself some new charge cables." I was like, on eBay, or on Amazon, I should say, I can get like 6 of these cables for like $8 or $9. It's ridiculous, price. I was like, so I'm guessing each cable from Apple is going to be $10 because they're really expensive. With $40, I was able to get 2 3-foot Apple cables. Or I could get 1 cable and one of the little cubes that plugs into the wall. But everything at the Apple Store costs at least $20. At the Apple Store, if you're going to get an off-brand cable or an off-brand charging cube, it's even more. That's for the shit that's not even like necessarily going to work. It's like $26 for a cable that's made by like an aftermarket company. I hate that I have an iPhone. I hate that my Androids have failed me in the past, and I was driven towards Apple for my phone stuff, and that these app companies get exclusivity contracts and have to go through Apple or Android. Like, I don't know why I can't play Angry Birds on an Android or whatever it is that can't be played on an Android. Like, it's such bullshit. I just want to have an Android that works and that gets all the apps I need it to get. But you know what? We live in a shitty world where everyone's trying to make too many dollars off of everything. So now I have all the cables that I will ever need for my phone. Thank you, Jennifer, for this, because now I can literally be charging my phone right meow. One of the other small items are some of my favorite things to have around the house. Post-it notes. These are standard size adhesive Post-it notes, and I use these to write little notes to myself, and then I stick them on my wallet so that when I go and buy something at the store, I take my wallet out and I look at the little list I've made of groceries, and I say, oh shit, I forgot to buy eggs. And then I go back into the store and I get my eggs because it's all written on a Post-it note that's stuck to my wallet. I will also be using these for storyboards, which I'm going to be working on. Nerdbot's making a couple of productions where we'll need storyboards. And if you have ever storyboarded anything, that you know how indispensable Post-it notes are. They can be used to bridge the gaps between the different panels of a storyboard, so that if you have a really long shot that pans up and down, you will have this sheet of paper that has 6 different television-sized panels on it. So as a single shot, you can take the top and bottom panel from the first column and bridge it with a Post-it note, and then just draw a line to connect them, and then you can make your panning shot go up and down. You can also do that side to side. And you can just generally make revisions. You can also use these for tracing, like a light box. Lay a Post-it note on top of a storyboard panel. Retrace the same face that you need to draw from a previous shot, and then post it in, and then paste that onto another panel, and you won't have to draw the same face 8 or 9 times. You can just basically draw it once and then trace it 5 or 6 times. So thank you, Jennifer, for these. That'll be me doing storyboarding. Now the last thing in here, let's see if she wrote a note to me. Hi Bill, enjoy your gift from Cosmic Cupcake. So for anyone who watches Twitch streams, Jennifer goes by, I should be calling her Jen. Jennifer is so sterile. I want to call her Jen. Look at my hair, it's all fucked up. Go follow Cosmic Cupcake, which I believe is XX Cosmic Cupcake XX, if I'm correct. If you go to my Twitch stream, which I haven't used in about a year now, you can see that I've done a bunch of streams with Jen. She's saying no. She's texting me no right now, that I shouldn't be telling you to follow her on Twitch. But oh wait, no, hold on. Alien. Oh my God, Alien Enigma is now Jen's Twitch name. So it's Alien Enigma, all one word. But the last syllable of alien is the first syllable of enigma. So Alien Enigma. Remember that. Go follow Jen on Twitch. Ridiculously expensive. Okay. Interesting wish list. Yeah, Tamala, like, I don't put a lot of, like, things that I don't already need on my wish list. I put things that I'm going to use on my wish list. I'll probably be actually putting some decal stuff on my wish list, because the more supplies I can get for that, the more I can provide to you guys if you want a decal. By the way, guys, if anyone ever thinks like, oh, you know what I'd like to have on my car is a cool decal of like the Superman logo or something like that, get in touch with me, and I can make those to order. I can't actually do like a huge 1,000 decal run of like a licensed Batman logo or something. But if you come to me and you ask me for like, oh hey, you know, I want to have the Smash Brothers logo 8 inches by 8 inches on the back of my car, or, like on my laptop or something, I can make you the decals however you want them. I just can't do like licensed stuff as like a readily available product. Same thing with the spears. Like those won't ever be up on NerdBot or on my site as a thing that I offer readily. But if you come to me and you say, hey, I want one of the spear decals, like I can fire off one for you in whatever color you want. And check out my Instagram. You'll see what I'm talking about. Okay. I don't really want to spend that even much for something. I have a Razr. It's an Android. Dropped it. Works great. If you're looking for an Android, yeah, I've had friends who vouch for the Razr phones, so maybe I'll give that a shot once my iPhone is dying or dead. Windows Phone, what do you think, Carol? Working out pretty well. She changed it to Alien Enigma on Twitch now. Well, Wraith, good looking out for Jen. Close on spelling it. Have you seen Doctor Strange, Chris? I did see Doctor Strange. So, I thought it was great. I thought they did a great job. I don't think the Tilda Swinton casting thing was the greatest decision they've ever made. She's a great actress, but I think they could have stuck with the original portrayal of the character and done right by, you know, the Asian acting community rather than casting Tilda Swinton just because she has bigger name recognition. Would you be able to do the Assassin's Creed logo? Joseph, yes. Send me a private Facebook or Twitter message, and I can make the Assassin's Creed logo, no problem at all. And depending on how big you want it, like it'll be pretty cheap. No good for games, but it's an okay phone. Okay, interesting. Windows Phone is okay. 2 Lucille decals. Candace, send me what you mean by Lucille, and I will see what I can do for you. Need a new phone. Doctor Strange was nice. Turned crazy when Loki was named. Yeah. There's now fan theories that actually the Thor... Never mind. That the end sequence of Doctor Strange actually involved Loki more heavily than some would like to let on. Yeah, Joseph, just PM me on Instagram, and we'll see what we can do for you. So there's one more thing that was inside this package, and then I'm going to wrap this thing up. Let's see if we can get this done in the next 8 minutes. And this is the last thing on my Amazon wish list. I think this clears out the entire wish list, actually. This may be it. I don't think there's anything else on the wish list at this point. It's these peach crisps, and they are dope. And I'm going to probably eat one of them now. So, if you don't like that, you can suck it, Trebek, because I'm going to eat one of these, like, for sure. So, for anyone who hasn't ever tried dehydrated fruit products, or freeze-dried, I don't know if they're dehydrated or freeze-dried. My mouth is watering just thinking about them. They're the best, and the apple ones are good. But the peach ones are, like, real fucking good. Like, real super, super awesome. The whiskey picks. Alright. La 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 la. I have instant, no spoilers. I think I want to get some kind of decal for my car after Christmas. Well, cool. Yeah, Wraith, just let me know Magneto was right. Yeah, I can do that for you, Wraith. Wraith, you've been so supportive. We can definitely, like, get you something for, you know, the cost of postage or something like that. But I'll be happy to help you out with whatever decal you want. Just let me know. Something later tonight on Lucille. It's a Walking Dead thing. Okay, yeah, just... Oh, I know what you're talking... That's... Alright, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, Joseph, if you can make this stuff, God bless you. That's the way to live life, man. Do it on your own. Jessica says, beware the whiskey pixie. Carol says, I'm the whiskey pixie. Weird. The whiskey pixie from Tumblr, beware. I was just looking, Carol, I was just noticing that you shared something on Tumblr. I think I checked out your Tumblr page, and if I'm correct, that might be one of the ones where somebody had posted a picture as Tom Hiddleston in high rise, straight up giving it to some girl. I don't know. It wasn't X-rated, but it was very suggestive. Eso es mananza deshidrata. No, no apples. What's peach in Spanish? Is apple manzanas? Is that how you say apples? Manzanas? That sounds great. Yeah, Candace, if you like the apples, try the peach ones. They're way tangier. They're like sour. I love them. So, I'm on Tumblr. I use it a lot. Yeah, Tumblr's a great place to go if you want to get some more porn in your life. Dried mangoes. That sounds good. Well, Stacy, if you're gonna be a sweet fangirl, that's fine. If you're gonna be naughty, keep that on your own pages, because we don't really play the naughty game here. Yeah, Carol, share whatever you want. I'm not trying to. I just always think it's funny to see Tom Hiddleston, people posting shirtless pictures of him or whatever, because I'm so not interested in that. And yet, it comes across my dash constantly. I think the reason why Doctor Strange wasn't too accurate was a certain character, because the Chinese government put pressure on Marvel films since they're against the religion of Buddhism. Yeah, I don't know. They could have cast an Asian guy. That's all I'm trying to say. What is your Tumblr? My Tumblr is Loki hates you. It's all one word. We're not. I'll behave here. Perfect. Well, yeah. I mean, you gotta put your fandom after your real life relationships. Did you ever finish the beef jerky? The beef jerky is still going strong, believe it or not. I started getting canker sores from eating too much of the beef jerky, so I've been going at a much slower pace with the beef jerky. It happens. The licorice went fast, though. I'm afraid to put more licorice on the wish list because I can't stop eating it when I have it in my house. I like the licorice. I actually bought some in Rhode Island and ate it, but it's no good for me. Like, I'm a monster with the licorice, and I can't stop eating it. So, take that as you may. No, don't be sorry, Helen. You sending me things has no negative bearing on the fact that I can't control myself around certain food. Like, it's not your fault. I asked for it and I received it, and then I hurt myself. I hurt myself so bad. Yeah, Wraith-chan, we're all gonna be signing off in a minute because it's 12:58 and we've been at this for an hour. I'm hoping to stream more. I know I've said that before, but we'll see if I can keep it up this time. Okay. PGC does like that jerky. Okay, guys. Everybody, have a good night. I'm gonna sign off, and I hope everyone stays safe and happy and whatnot. Best licorice brand in my opinion. I like Daryl Lee. Or is that what it is? Daryl Lee? I used to like the Aussie stuff. There's like an Aussie brand. But everyone's been like cutting back on the good ingredients for some reason, and it gets rubbery and plasticky. Okay, well, tell Hannah I said the same to her. Everyone have a good night. I'll talk to y'all soon. Miss you. Love you. Bye.